Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Theatre. This is a one-off special review of the Edinburgh Festival with myself, Vicki, and my good friend Daran. Say hello, Daran.
Hello.
So we have been at the Edinburgh Festival today and we have seen 4 things and we just want to talk very briefly about them. So what was the first thing we went to see?
The first thing was Ballet Boys, physical theatre, a known performing group of good reputation. It's always hard coming the first weekend because there's no reviews for you to take by, so you have to work by what do you know of the company.
Yeah, so it's either you go with something that's recognised or you go with potluck and it could be shit.
Festival
or it could
lottery.
Be brilliant. Exactly. So we went to see Ballet Boys, who I think both of us have seen before.
Yeah.
And both of us have enjoyed it before.
Absolutely.
And what did you think of it today?
Fantastic. It was in a great venue. It was in the McEwen Hall, which is a new venue for the theatre to use. It's a great floor. They know how to tell a story, and I think they really did tell a story today.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And what was also good, you got 2 for your money. So it's still an hour, but it was 2 half hours or 2 25-minute dances of 2 contrasting stories.
Yeah.
Which didn't naturally fit together, but they do under the theme of, I think it was them and us, or us and them. But it was it's powerful. It's proper male dance at its best, I think.
Yeah, they were both very contrasting pieces, weren't they? Both very powerful in different ways. I did not have a clue what either of them were about.
Oh.
You had a theory about the first one, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was about political orders in country, and so our order here, and then I saw a bit of Russia, and I could have just been completely making it up, but
I just thought it was some guys having a nice dance.
Yeah, I kind of saw a little bit more than that. And then we actually changed seating for the second half.
Because we were right at the front, weren't we? Yeah. I think with this venue, I think they fill it from the front to the back.
Yeah.
So it wasn't completely full, and we were sat right at the front.
Yeah.
And we were sort of looking at one person at a time, weren't we? And then we moved back a bit further and we had a better view of everyone.
But they clearly knew what they were doing, clearly well choreographed, clearly well directed so that it actually is of interest for an audience.
Yeah.
I would give that 8 out of 10, possibly even more.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Definitely worth going if you like to see that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that was brilliant. So the next thing we went to see, well, it wasn't. We didn't go to see anything. We went to participate in something, didn't we?
Immersive in a very bold step is the silent disco.
So we should say Guru Dudu's silent disco.
Guru Disco is the original silent disco.
The original, which they were keen to point out, weren't they?
This is my 4th year of doing this now. In Edinburgh.
Because I think the one year we saw it, didn't we? And we saw it going through, and we were like, "This looks great." So the next year we went to do it, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've been with other people.
Last year and did it with other people. I have to wear glasses when I do it, sunglasses, because whilst I can be an extrovert, I need to hide behind my glasses because you are parading round the streets, and I live here, parading round the streets, dancing to music that nobody else can hear en masse.
Yeah. So, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Because you start off a little bit embarrassed about people looking at you, and then you get quite into it.
But also, the people watching always have, 99.9% have joy on their face, and they're smiling, and you can see a bit of envy in their eye that they're thinking, wish I was doing that. That looks so much fun, and they take photos of you and everything else. So there's an element of being a performer yourself. Yeah,
and there were some people that joined in even though they couldn't hear the music.
Yeah.
So the guy who set this up, Guru Dudu, is an Australian guy who does it all around the world. And when we've done it before, he's been the guy that's taken us around. But this year we had someone different. I think because they're doing so many shows a day. Well, show is not the right word for it, but they're doing so many a day that he can't do all of them. So now they have, I think, 4 or 5 different people that do it. So we had someone different today, a Spanish lady who was really good fun. But she wasn't quite Guru Dudu, was she?
No, not at all. However, what was interesting on the way to go and participate in this form of theatre, we saw a new rival company doing their silent disco out in the meadows, and the energy just wasn't there.
No.
The joy in people's faces just wasn't there. The people at the back of the group were bored and were having their own conversations. It just wasn't Guru Dudu's. He is like a good sheepdog. He keeps you all together, and you are fully immersed and participating all the way along.
It was lacking, the other one, wasn't it?
It was definitely lacking.
But I think I did it, 2 years ago, and we did a lovely walking tour. We walked quite far. We went through a park, and it was quite a...
Princess Street Gardens.
Yeah, but this time... we didn't go very far, did we? We just sort of walked up a street.
But I do wonder whether part of that is to do with the council saying we've got to give space to all these different groups.
Yeah.
And maybe they've had to limit it. But the actual joy of it is still enough to highly recommend it. I mean, I think I'd give that a 9.
I'd probably give it a 10.
Right.
Just for... But I would recommend, if you were going to do it, I would recommend looking at the timetable and seeing if you can... There's several different people, and you can book a slot with a particular person. So I would recommend doing it with Guru Dudu if you can, because he's brilliant.
So they start down in the grass market, and it's brilliant. It's very, very good.
So, we're up for that one. And then we went to see... So we saw some friends of yours, and they recommended a show to us, which we hadn't heard of.
No.
Which was... I'm going to forget the name now. What's her name? Christina Bianco.
Christina Bianco.
First Impressions. So she is a lady that does speaking and singing impressions of mainly...
In cabaret style.
Yeah, in cabaret style.
So she's a cabaret singer. She's a bit of a Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
Who's from New York, but she can sing and talk in the style and act and impression of Liza Minnelli, Barbara Streisand, Judy Garland.
So she does a lot of the big divas, and she does those. She does Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears,
Jennifer Aniston.
Keira Knightley was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God, there's loads of people, isn't there? Drew Barrymore was one of my particular favourites. So she does some sort of talky impressions. She does some singing impressions.
Yeah, she's accompanied by 3 live musicians who are there. So it's proper like cabaret. It really is. She's got a sparkly dress.
Yeah. She's tiny.
She's got humour in it. It's very well scripted.
Yeah.
It's very well rehearsed. It's very well timed. But you can see straight through where she's trying to pretend to be spontaneous. You can tell it's not spontaneous.
Yeah.
It looks like she's meant to be doing it spontaneous, but it's not. It's rehearsed. Not badly, but she's not as personable as I think I would have liked to have seen it.
She doesn't feel entirely genuine when she's talking about stuff.
No, she doesn't at all.
But
she sounds nice, but just not genuine.
But the thing that's good about it is she does the divas singing songs that you wouldn't expect them to sing. So she had a whole TV theme tunes. So she did the Wombles in the style of, was it Gwen Stefani?
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
And that's her main thing, is that she did Julie Andrews singing...
oh, God, what was it? It was Hot Stuff?
Hot Stuff. That's Donna Summer's Hot Stuff.
Yeah. So that was the thing that was interesting about it, is her sort of turning on her head. And she did, with the sort of spoken impressions, she did people doing scenes out of films that you wouldn't expect them to be in. So... Keira Knightley doing a scene out of Die Hard.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it was good. What would you rate that as?
I think it's an 8.
Yeah.
I think it's an 8 because she didn't just make it up on the bus that morning. She's clearly rehearsed it. She's clearly got a very vocally strong and dynamic voice that she learns and to develop and has done. It's polished. It's safe. It was quite safe. It was quite comfortable. It was a box of chocolates. You know what you're going to get in each centre.
Yeah, I'd give an 8 too, because it was really enjoyable, but I didn't find her entirely genuine when she's like, "Oh, audience, you made me what I am." Da, 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 da. I didn't. Yeah, it just wasn't. I wasn't sold on it. Yeah. Okay, and then we went to see. This was a punt, wasn't it? This was with no recommendations.
Which is what Edinburgh Festival should always include. It's not all guaranteed what you're going to see, as in try things that you wouldn't normally go.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was I Wish My Life Were Like a Musical.
Yeah.
And it was a guy who I think is a musician who writes songs for stuff, had been speaking to people about what it's like to be someone trying to work in the musicals. So it was based on different stories from people trying to work in musicals. What did you think of it?
And they'd written a whole script of what it's like to. So I think chorus line, but mix it a bit more funny and humorous. When I think of it, two guys, two girls singing, all of them clearly been to drama school, all of them clearly know what they're doing. Are they the strongest singers? Not really, but can they sing? Yes, they can.
Yeah.
Can they act? Yeah, not bad.
Two of them were definitely stronger than the other two.
Was the lyrics funny? Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, see, I found them a bit hit and miss. I think that they were trying so desperately to keep everything rhyming that they used some words that you wouldn't use and weren't particularly funny.
And then every now and again they'd say the word fuck, and it just like, yeah, and it became overly like, oh, okay, I'm not sure how that felt. So, yeah, did it work? Yeah, it did work. Is it what I wanted to see? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking I was going to go and see. But I think it was... if I'm honest, I thought it was lazy. They had no costumes on, or even gave the idea that they even thought about what they were wearing.
No, they were just wearing their normal clothes, weren't they?
Yeah, the two girls had their hair was down, it was just flailing all in their face and everything else. The sound wasn't great on occasion, but it was their first show.
Yeah.
The choreography was a bit lame. If they're meant to be doing a musical, it needed more direction and more of something to keep it going for an hour.
Yeah.
It ran out of its steam after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I was like, oh crap, I now got to sit through this.
Yeah, see, I wonder whether the guy that wrote it was the guy playing the piano on stage, and it was all very much him, and he probably was just thinking about the songs and not really thinking about any other bit of it.
The story, which the irony is, they were saying in the song was, oh god, we're in the musical that's going to be really rubbish and the audience don't really want to be here, and you're thinking, actually, this is all a bit, that's what we are having to endure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'd give it a 5. I think if they did more work on a little bit more presentation, that's what I think they need, more presentation. I think they could get it up to a 7.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever going to be more than that.
No, I do feel like I wasn't really annoyed that I'd been to see it.
No.
It was amusing to an extent, but it just wasn't quite clever enough.
No, it wasn't dynamic.
Yeah, and it's a shame.
Yeah, it was very well. They had, unlike many performances in that festival, it had very good flyers. I think also it felt like they were students doing their end of drama school showcase.
Yeah.
Because the flyer had all their biogs in it, and so it kind of was more about that. But it wasn't bad. Would I go and see it again? Not really, but I'm pleased I saw it. I've seen a lot worse.
Oh God, yeah. So these are what we've seen so far. We've got another 2 tomorrow, which we probably won't have time to review on. But Edinburgh Festival in general, what do you think? You live here. I don't live here. I come up to visit you to see it. Excuse me.
Well, I have the joy that I have a whole month of it, and I get to see, I vicariously live up my festival through my friends and their different personalities and their different tastes and their different relationships with me and their different relationships with Edinburgh and their different relationships with theatre in general. So I can see the more jazz hands musicals with certain people like Beck.
Yeah.
I can then see some more dark and sinister stuff with my mate Ian
Fleming, my nemesis.
Ian Fleming.
It's a long story. I'm not going to go into it right now.
Yes. And I can see other stuff with other people, and it's brilliant. A cappella singing stuff I go to with another friend as well. So, what makes it? The weather makes it. The weather can really, really lift the whole city into joy. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Real buzz. There's lots of children around today, so it's a real family festival, which I think is quite fun.
There's loads of children's shows, aren't there?
Yeah, loads, which is really, really cool. There's been a lot more attention this year on disability access and opportunity, which I think is great.
Well, we've seen quite a few people in wheelchairs today, haven't we?
Yeah, which I think has been the real focus. So I think, and festival is, it's sincere fun and kindness. It's joy. It has all that.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of guys crossing the road earlier, about 7 of them, probably early 20s, probably a bit had too much drink in them, and they were being quite verbally aggressive to a taxi driver, and I thought, wow, that's not
This
festival.
is not the festival.
That's not the way you do it.
We should have reprimanded them.
We should have done. They were like football hooligans, but it's great.
Yeah.
The dampener is when it rains, because
Yeah.
that kind of makes everyone scuttle into buildings, so you don't get the street kind of carnivalness.
Because I've been really lucky. This is my 4th time at the festival, and every time I've been, it's been sunny, and we've had a lovely time because you can sit outdoors, have a little. Darren's not drinking at the moment, but I quite enjoy a little G&T sitting in the garden. It's quite nice, isn't it? But yeah, it's a really good vibe. Everyone's really, I mean, it's incredibly middle class.
Yeah.
Very, what did we call it? Tesco finest earlier on.
Yeah, it can be a bit M&S Waitrose, but not always. I think sometimes it can be Sainsbury's and Tesco's, but they're finest range.
Yeah, it's a good part. Isn't
Yeah.
it? But it is a genuine joy. I love coming up here.
And every year they get something done a bit better. The app is a lot better this year. I ordered all the tickets, and instead of massive queuing, we just walked up to this machine, stuck my card in, and it spat all my tickets out, which was brilliant. No queuing, which was great. They think about better things each year, which I think makes it a lot.
It's very well organised.
Very well organised.
Yeah, it's smooth. And it's nice that it's all in a very sort of manageable area. It's not like if you had it in London and you had venues all over the place, you just wouldn't see as much.
And I feel it's also a bit like going to independent cinemas. I feel like I'm supporting independent theatre, and it's not in I'm a virtuous person that says it's people are wanting to come and try out their work and do it. I feel like it's given to charity in a sense, and it's done, but I'm allowed to go and enjoy it, and I think I'll find that really, really cool to do.
Well, I think Daran and I can both agree that the Edinburgh Festival is definitely worth a visit. Some of the things we've been to see are worth a visit, but there are thousands of things on and like hundreds of venues to go to. So if you can get up here, have a little look, see what tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
And just go to anything and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for listening. We have been 15 Minute Theatre. The theatre bell is upon us. There it is. Good night.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter, and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.